Have you ever wondered how you can lose fat while eating whatever your mom cooks? Or that super greasy delicious food on parties? Well, I have lost 8 kilograms of pure fat, turning from this into this in only the span of 12 weeks, and look the most aesthetically pleasing I've ever been. Wow, still eating those delicious food that my mom's made. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you how I exactly did that so you can copy me and still enjoy your food while being in a diet. So let me tell you a story. I was always a relatively fat kid my whole life, eating junk food, playing video games there and then, not really caring about my health. So after a few years, I got myself a pretty cute girlfriend, but what comes super easy, like I literally don't have to work for it, goes away also easily. I got dumped after like around 6 months, though it's not really the most healthy or the best relationship ever, but I still got that fuel inside of me of wanting to do something because I know I'm a piece of shit. So the first thing that comes into my mind is fitness, like every single young man does. So I got to action, but for a young man who's confused and the only advice he got is conventional lifting advice out there, I wasn't really set for the path that leads to the exact goal that I want, which is building an aesthetic physique. I followed the conventional lifting diet advice, which is just force feed yourself chicken and rice. You gotta eat a Greek yogurt or something like that, high protein, all the meals. All that made me so stressed about my cravings, my wallet, and even my lifestyle. Let's just say my bathroom wasn't having the best time. So that took a toll a lot on my mental health. So even though after 2 years of training really hard, I turned myself from this into this. That belly fat is still there. I did not change shit. Besides building a little bit of muscle mass there and then, I got stressed, the diet doesn't subside my cravings, and my wallet wasn't feeling the best. So after 2 years of following that conventional lifting diets, I couldn't really stay on track with that diet to the T, and I looked like shit because my mental health took a big toll. But now, without having to force feed myself into chicken and rice and broccoli every single day, I have been able to transform myself this picture after 2 years into this in a way shorter amount of time, just because I know what to actually do to stick to my diet. And to start knowing how you could do that also, you would need to know what even causes fat loss in the first place. So the thing that causes fat loss, which is a calorie deficit. Why is this the case? Because calorie deficit basically means you put less energy that your body needs to maintain its state right now, so that it has to take internal energy in your body to make up for that lack of external energy. Comes from food every single day. And what is the purest form of energy stored in your body? That is body fat. So if you stick to a calorie deficit, you would slowly tell your body that, oh, I am not putting enough fuel into functioning this body. So you would need to adapt to that. So your body adapts to that by making up for the energy by taking out body fats and adjusting your body composition. So that is the basic terms on what even causes fat loss in the first place. But only applying a calorie deficit doesn't automatically mean that the weight that you're losing is purely body. The weight that you're losing could come from many forms of energy, like glycogens, muscle mass even, and a lot more stuff that could happen around your body. But remember what I said, muscle mass. You could also lose muscle mass while being in a calorie deficit. So you would need to also send a message to your body that you need this muscle mass while losing body fat. So you would need to apply resistance training, the kind of training that sends the message to your body that you need this muscle mass, and your body will keep that muscle mass. And the type of training that works the best is what I said, resistance training. That could come like weight training, calisthenics, all sorts of training that includes moving a pretty heavy object, whether it's your own body weight or some external weight. And more specifically, the best type of training purely to keep muscle mass or to send that signal to your body that you need muscle mass is what I think is hypertrophy training. It will mostly not require you to use too big of a weight and an explosive movement. Instead, you would need to use like a moderately heavy weight, control your reps, high range of motion, and a good stretch. So with that, that is the best type of training, alongside with being in a calorie deficit that will make sure that you lose the most amount of fat while maintaining the most amount of muscle to start changing that body composition of yours and get that six pack. But how do you exactly gonna do those two things? You're saying, oh, okay, I'm just reading a book but not taking action. I don't know what to do. Well, here's how you do it. So number one, how to be in a calorie deficit. So first, you would need to know that what your calorie deficit goal even is. This is the amount of calories recommended to eat to lose the most amount of fat while not mess up your hormone too much and maintain the most amount of muscle. Well, don't worry. I have made it super easy for you so that you could know your recommended amount of calories to eat around in so that it's a calorie deficit. The second link down in the description down below is my free Google Sheet files which calculates your maintenance calories, the calories you need to eat around to bulk up, and especially the recommended amount of calories for me to lose the most amount of fat, incorporated with a weight training routine that will ensure that you lose the most amount of fat in a short period of time, which will be in the second link in the description down below. All you have to do is enter your email address on the link there, so I will make sure to personally send you the file so that you know where to even start on your diet in the first place. And the second thing is control your calories by eating what you want and adding what you need. This is the perfect diet to actually start losing fat while still handling your cravings. Let's just say one day you want to eat a pack of ramen noodles and you eat it. That will not ruin your diet. So number one, you can still eat what you want. Make sure that the amount of calories at the end of the day still reaches the number, and that's totally fine. But if you only eat what you want, you could be starved to death. And that is where the second part comes in, the add what you need. You would add lean protein, vegetables to bump up the volume a little bit. Make sure that you're still full throughout the day. So you don't need to fully eat chicken and rice every single day or something like that just to get lean. You can still enjoy your cravings as long as it's in moderate control, and at the end of the day, you reaches the number. But now you may ask me, how do I know that I reaches the number? Well, there are some really good apps out there so that you can track your calories. Personally, I use MyFitnessPal, which is the app with the icon right here. You can just go to Google Play, download it. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just personally use it. And for me, the free version has every single tool that I need. So yeah, you can try that out. It has a really big food database. If you make sure to track every single thing that you eat, even that small candy bar that you think that doesn't matter too much, and at the end of the day, you reaches that number, then you would definitely, within the span of 2 to 3 months, would lose a significant amount of fat, alright? Now that is how you actually be in a calorie deficit. How do you actually train now? So first, what I would recommend on training is pick hypertrophy training, especially with weights if you do have the equipment. If not, calisthenics is also fine, but make sure to apply the principle right here. The principles are, when you do the weight training, do not ego lift or put the weight too hard. Choose a moderately heavy weight. And with that, control your reps. Make sure to go on a full stretch, like maybe on a pull-up bar, to go fully on the way down and do a full range of motion reps. And with that, train in around a rep range of 6 to 12 would be good. But don't worry about too much about reps. Slowly train yourself so that you can push to failure. What do I mean by pushing to failure? Training to failure means that you cannot physically do another reps on that same movement. Okay, so if you can train to that point on a set, then you're setting yourself up really nicely on simulating the muscle and sending your body the message of, oh, I need muscle mass, keep it. With that, train these 9 main aesthetic muscle groups at least 2 times a week on your workout routine, which is the neck, upper traps, upper chest, lateral delts, lats, tricep, bicep, forearms, and abs. Those are the 9 main aesthetic muscle groups that you need to prioritize on a little bit more by just splitting your sets. Let's just say each body group, you give it 5 sets a week. You can split 3 sets into one day, and then after 72 hours, you split another 2 sets of the same muscle group. With the same amount of set and the same amount of intensity, you would get literally 1.5 times more gain doing it this way. So split your volume, workout volume of those 9 main aesthetic muscle groups to pop out that V-taper of yours and keep the most amount of muscle on your diet. So that is how I could eat whatever my mom's made while literally losing almost 8 kilograms of pure fat and literally bump up the aesthetic score of my physique 1 to 2 points out of 10. And you, my friend, could do exactly that by just following those 2 basic principles when it comes to training and dieting for aesthetic. And if the goal of building an aesthetic physique interests you, and you want a community with like-minded men who are all on the same goal as you, the top link description down below is my paid community, where young men like us who have the goal of training for aesthetic have a safe space to socialize and share each other's knowledge without the judgment of the strangers. It's in the top link description down below. We got courses, weekly accountability calls, a brotherhood, and much more. We'll be waiting for you on the inside. And if you want to improve your mindset even more about judgments of strangers when it comes to the goal of building an aesthetic physique, click here to watch this video because I think it would help.